Hi and hello, welcome to the Fortinus Global Podcast Series, where we bring together exceptional leaders who are shaping the future of finance, operations, and business transformation across the world. I'm your host, 𝘆𝘁. Today, we are joined by someone who brings deep expertise in finance leadership with a strong track record in driving strategy impact within complex business environments. So today, we're joined by Christina Ong, the country head of finance at HAVI. Christina, thank you so much for joining us today. It's wonderful to have you here. So to start off, could you please briefly introduce yourself and share more about your role and responsibilities?
Thank you, 𝘆𝘁. Hi, everyone. Very good morning, and I'm very fortunate and also honored to be here today to speak about, to share about some insights I experienced on logistics accounting. Before I start, I probably give a short introduction about my good self. So I started off my career, I think 20 over years ago. So I started off as an external auditor in KPMG Malaysia, and also be the inside. I also had a chance to join the advisory service, consulting, doing financial modeling. And that time I was actually seconded to 𝘀𝗵𝗿𝗲 for the water sewerage project and financial modeling. That's why I get to know about scenario planning through various, like applications and software. And I find it is very interesting, other than just the normal audit that we conducted day to day, specializing in retail, manufacturing, and some FMCG customers. So after that, completed my CPA, stay about 4 years in audit. Then I venture out to real life commercial. The first commercial I joined is actually a palm oil refinery. It's with Singapore 𝘀𝗵𝗿𝗲𝗄 Group. It's a listed co. So I get to learn about manufacturing accounting, and I was there about like 2.5 years. Then I moved out to join a construction company, 𝘪𝗫𝘁. So that time they were actually building this iResidence. So it's a construction costing, which is also similarly interesting. And I was fortunate to be headhunted to join 𝘆𝗵𝗿𝗄𝗏, my first logistics journey, the company. So it's actually a Hong Kong-based company, and it's specializing in third-party logistics, which is focusing on warehousing and also land transport haulage. So that's when I started my logistic journey, and I also joined Santa Fe Relocation as the finance head as well. And I led the shared service setup and also the GSD project setup in 𝘆𝗵𝗿𝗄𝗏, just now I mentioned. And after that, I'll stay a while. Then also I venture into Linford Logistics, which is also an Australian company, also specializing in retail, FMCG, and also manufacturing customer. So on and all, all this is actually third-party logistics until recent years, which I joined HAVI. This is my 4th year in HAVI Logistics. HAVI, we are a FSSC 32,000 certified, also halal certified warehousing, specializing in cold chain food industry, F&B industry. So why I enjoy my work in HAVI? Firstly, is all spectrum of supply chain end to end. And since young, right, I have this passion about food, and HAVI gives me the opportunity to actually approach the community like closer tie, and I get to learn the end-to-end deliverables from sourcing the ingredients up to the store delivery and how to make food accessible to everybody. And beyond numbers, I'm also the D&I champion, whereby it's about diversity, equality, and also inclusion. We create a safe space for everyone's voice to be heard. So it's within the global business service community, whereby we connect the Europeans, the Asians, and also the US community. So on top of that, out of work, I also enjoy Zumba, dancing, singing, and also traveling with my kids and networking, meeting new people. That's why I attended a conference quite regularly, and also I'm fortunate to be invited to be 1 or 2 like panelist speaker in those conferences. So that's about me. And today, let's look forward to any questions that you have in mind, and we can share more insights later.
Okay, perfect, Christina. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. And I'm so impressed with that. Okay, so now let's jump into our discussion. Okay, first thing first, Christina, HAVI operates in a highly complex and fast-moving environment where finance plays a critical role beyond traditional reporting. So now, Christina, how has your role evolved to navigate this level of operational and financial complexity?
Thank you, Rashika. A very great questions. Like I mentioned, how to make food easily accessible to everyone, delivered at the best solution and most efficient and productive way to create a win-win both my customers, suppliers, and to ensure that HAVI logistics business is actually sustainable. And all through this, with the finance insights, we need to ensure and smoothen seamless billing and collections and payment process. Finance no longer just a silo, sit in the office doing reporting and analysis kind. Rather, today's what finance brings is the insights and the analysis whereby we translate all these analysis data into value-added advice paired with solution. We need to come up with solutions as a finance person. We need to drive projects differently. Unlike the olden days whereby we just after crunching the numbers, that's it. But right now it's about because you understand the numbers. So how to drive all this process excellence and also driving all these cost savings initiative. Eventually, from time to time to ensure sustainability of the business, you need to continue to improve. We have this continuous improvement plan tracker, CIP, and we set the right KPI for functional. So this is like a value added from customers' perspective also. Understanding the customer's pain point and then translate operational productivity into financial numbers. And for finance, we also make significant decision making about CapEx spending, where to spend more OpEx. And on top of that, it's about legal compliance and also risk management, because to me is extremely critical before a contract gets signed. All this risk management process, about cash flow, planning your working capital, and the regulatory. From time to time, we have a volatile regulatory changes. How can we, counter all these changes? And just to share with you, for HAVI Logistics, we are also the pioneer batch of e-invoicing implemented in August 24. So that's why you can see the readiness that we need to have from time to time. And as a finance person, I feel at times you should also call out what is the best thing that the company has done or the people have contributed. And we need to celebrate success, shout it out loud, and give appreciation to the people. So that's about finance spectrum right now. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I understand. Okay, with the CIPs, I think you guys keep on improving, and that's what that's what the best thing about your company is. Yes. Okay. All right. So thank you for that, Christina. So move on to the next question. Okay, you have managed finance and procurement teams across Asia Pacific, EMEA, India, and the US. So now, what are some of the biggest challenges you have faced in leading global teams, and how did you overcome that?
Okay. One thing is about, I think, maintaining a closer relationship and rapport with your ground people. You truly need to understand what is everyone's expertise. You are not the best, but you need to extract out of the best, right? So you need to know what is your people doing and what is their pain point. I call it the term 𝘀𝗵𝗿𝗲𝗍, so that you need to get, roll out your sleeve and understand together with the people, have smaller group meetings, have workshops, and suggest and recommend solutions and be open to their ideas. To us, we honor our people. Like I said, for logistic business, extremely crucial for us to honor our 3PL drivers and your own drivers and also the outsourced drivers. Which company does the best, this understanding your suppliers, because when you open tender to them, there is also some cost initiative that, you need to set it up front as your KPI. From year on year, we have inflation, but how do you counter the inflation? People are usually lazy, including my good self. So we cannot be complacent, right? We need to understand how can we continuously improve ourselves, like embrace technology, and commercially, we need to be a little bit more sensible because everything is about money, and every dollar and cents counts, like sikit-sikit lama-lama jadi bukit. So you cannot like underestimate the smallest thing in the company where everybody is spending. So drill down into more details, I would say, talk to the people, be more curious and be more collaborative. Challenge the status quo. Yeah.
I understand. That's why you use the term turun parang, so you would understand what the, your staffs feel and whatever challenges that they faced. Okay, that's right. Okay, thank you, Christina, for that. Okay, next question. You have recognized for turning financial insights into actionable business outcomes. So for the CFOs tuning in, what does the connection look like in practice? And where do finance teams most commonly miss opportunities to create value?
Thank you for that. Resonated to my just now what I've shared previously is about people's mindset. People tend to be complacent. I mean, not just, I think, everyone we have to acknowledge, right? Including yourself, myself. It's just human nature. So we have to inculcate that kind of mindset that is never stop learning, regardless how old you are. And knowledge, expertise is just one thing, and you need to be very open, as in volatile a little bit, because the moment you stretch yourself, I think everyone can achieve simply anything, right? And we need to know the passion, the people, the finance people especially. Typically finance people, they are more introverted. So we need to encourage and foster that kind of engagement. Get them turun padang, make them walk the warehouse, make them talk to the drivers, follow the drivers out and understand what is happening to the world out there. And, every company, you actually have your tax agent, your auditors. These are the people, your bankers, these are the people with absolute expertise on their areas of expertise. So you should optimize the chances to talk to them, speak to them. Like for instance, like recently about this fuel crisis, I should say, right? Fuel shortage. So understand what is the next government regulations gonna be about fuel subsidy. So all this is like beyond book, right? And can teach you like ABC that you need to learn from real life experience. So I always encourage talk to people. When you have that conversation, you will tend to probe more. So yeah, be passionate about your job.
Understand. So within that kind of initiative, you understand more of what's happening and that you can improve with your CIP.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Christina, for the response. So, okay, next question is, when volatility hits, leaders often have to balance short-term financial discipline with building long-term resilience. How do you strike that balance at HAVI, especially when market conditions are uncertain and stakeholders are expecting immediate results?
Thank you, Rashika. I think that's a very great question. In logistics, I think in any other industry, to us, is most importantly is to maintain the contingency plan. At any one time, we have never stopped planning. So we also get ready to prepare the resilience for tomorrow. So what we do is we did a lot of scenario planning, particularly from financial perspective. So there are a lot of assumptions derived upward collaboration from cross-functional. We understand what are those assumptions variable that is actually real time. And we try to forecast that from time to time. So every now and then, we will have like year to date, year to go, the remaining months to go. So what are those assumptions? It keeps changing. And for each time, you will need to identify what are our potential risks and also opportunity at the same time, right? So we try to turn every risk into opportunity. And those challenges, we must make sure there is actually a few options for us as mitigation solution. So I think the other perspective is like shaping the people's mindset. What is best today doesn't necessarily mean it's meant for tomorrow. But for us, we obtained FSSC 22,000, which is the highest food certificate last year. However, this doesn't stop us from pursuing from other distribution center. We have a couple of distribution center. And at the same time, we also explore AI planning in terms of financial. And we did a lot of more audit. More audit means that, we try to be the internal auditor ourselves. We don't wait for the auditor to come, but we keep on asking, what can we have done better, right? So we never stop and never for once we are complacent. So many years, even though until today, the business still keep on turning and all we want to achieve is the same objective, which is to sustainability is the key. Yeah, thank you.
Understand. So, Christina, I just want to ask, so your contingency plan, will it changing over the years or do you keep it like, okay, this contingency plan can be used for maybe 3 years and then the next 3 years you do a new one, a new set of contingency plan?
Yeah, not really. The contingency plan is like depending on scenario basis. So like for this scenario, you will have contingency plan A. It's basically like a backup solution. So what happened if this happened? Then what if, a lot of what if scenario simulation.
Understand. Okay, thank you so much for the response. Okay, move on with the next question, Ishida. So over the past few years, supply chains have faced disruption on an unprecedented scale, from pandemics to geopolitical and trade shifts. So looking back, what financial disciplines or decision-making habits have been most critical in keeping HAVI agile and well-positioned through these challenges?
Thank you. I think over the years, we have faced a lot of geopolitical reason. For instance, the freight crisis, it started from the Iran and Ukraine war. And then this when 2022, after that, we also have, unfortunately, for our area, Bukit Raja, we also have a big flood. Not too sure it's a catastrophe, not too sure whether you still remember. The whole of Setia Alam area was actually flooded. And then the team actually responded and acted very fast together, the planning with our customers. Again, it's about contingency, right? So we not only have one distribution center, we have alternatives. So during that crisis time, some of the stocks we may need to do, planning to move around. And then at the same time, we also have East Malaysia. So how do we prepare the lead time to ensure that there is enough time for us to make sure the goods are delivered safely, accessible to the customer store on time? So that's one. And then secondly, we have a lot of trust in our management team. We also have this call tree whenever there is a crisis. We call it like crisis alert, right? So whenever we trigger this crisis call, everyone has to get very prepared and suggesting for better ways of doing things. So it's not necessarily means that this crisis committee just doing what is it for now, but in case it really happens, then what's the next step for them to get prepared? So it's a lot of time about focusing business growth together with our customer. We also get a lot of projections from customers from time to time, and also whether they are opening new stores, where is the location, and we try to maximize all our deliveries. So try to staff it more, and to us, we also do a lot of hedging for forex to protect our forex because there's a volatility, and the recent fuel prices. We call it fuel prices, actually not a crisis, but mostly it's about subsidy. A lot of sentiment about whether government will remove it completely. So this is something that no one knows, right? It's an unknown. But how do we prevent shortage? Perhaps we need to register ourselves with one or two fuel providers is to ensure geographically around the network there is actually petrol station available for the trucks to pump petrol. And we also explore whether we want to have split tanks in the DC. These are something that we have in contingency plan. And about cybersecurity, because these days, whether your insurance is enough for you to secure, and if it really happen, then what is the mitigation? Because IT should have globally, we have a huge network, right? So whenever something happens, something should stop before preventing something can happening further. So this is also very critical.
Alisa, okay, so you really need to think of the many impossible and what ifs situation. Okay. Wow. Okay. That's one is very nice, Christina. Thank you for sharing. Okay. All right. Last but not least, Christina. You have spent more than 2 decades across management, commercial, and logistics finance. So, if you were to advise the next generation of CFOs and finance leaders today, what's that one capability you would say they can no longer afford to ignore?
I think there is the openness and the willingness to embrace changes, adaptability, because you can no longer just stay in your comfort zone. Let's say you cannot just bear the title and expect you just do the areas, there's no specialization. Talk to the people on the floor, understand what other people is doing. To me, that's critical. Understand fundamentally what is the concept behind. And there's one advice I always give to the young people. You are larger than what you think you are. If you do not limit yourself, sky is the limit. So success is about, embracing mindset and also technology. So since we have AI, we should maximize with every possibility and embrace technology, constant changes, innovation, be creative, right? Create your personal branding and make yourself so-called indisposable, because we need to value add yourself, like create value add chain in performing your role. Not just about doing your day-to-day, because we don't need robots, but rather we need a brain that can think more like an AI, a human AI. Yeah, thank you.
Understand? Okay. Thank you so much, Christina, for sharing your insights today. Okay, it's been a truly valuable conversation with you. And everyone, we're excited to share that Christina will be speaking at the CFO and Finance Leaders Summit Malaysia 2026, happening on 11 June 2026 in KL. So if you'd like to hear more from Christina and gain deeper insights into how finance leaders are driving strategy and resilience, be sure to join us at this summit. So Christina, do you have anything else to say?
I just want to say, folks, come join us, have more conversations, have more engagement, interaction this June 11th, the date. So mark your calendar and I'll see you folks there. Thank you. Thank you, 𝘊𝗫𝗃.
And thank you so much, Christina, again for joining us. See you guys at the summit. Bye-bye. Bye.